Alright, I have returned, and, well, there's no short way to do this. Okay, so I'm just running for pads right around the corner. But they certainly are imparting a sense of, urgency, despite the fact that it is right here. I suppose they weren't expecting me to have already done, the command with Tricky to get him to, like, melt the barrier. They probably didn't expect me to knock this tree down either, if I had to make some sort of a guess. Because they're giving me, like, an entire minute to just walk, like, 30 feet? Like, 10 meters or something? Okay, this one actually is a little bit further. Alright, I'm cool with this. I only vaguely know where that's at, too. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I know where I'm headed, to some degree. Yeah, see, right there. No problems. Couldn't, it's simplicity itself. How close is this one gonna be? It's literally on the other side. Talk about scraping the sides of the peanut butter jar for your challenges at this point. Like, there were no obstacles in this area. Why do I have to... And they keep adding time on. Like, I keep the existing time that I had leading up to that pad, and they just tack more time onto it. This is... To say that this feels silly is to put it mildly. Where next? Oh! Okay, well that's unexpected. I know where that is. I'm actually finding out that all of that time that I spent previously, like, wasting? It's not really the right way to put it, but like, all the time that I quote-unquote wasted trying to figure out what I was supposed to do next whenever I unlocked the ability to use the R-Wing and head out to the Dark Eyes Mines. Turns out all that time that I spent in this area has come to fruition, because it means that I can actually do this little challenge with significant ease and speed. Alright, this had better be the last one. I don't know where on earth I could put another. Alright, yeah, cool. Okay, so ooh, ow. That wasn't fun. So, everything is... I mean, that was fast. That was so fast, and that was so easy. In large part because, you know, I had done all of the hard, heavy lifting, like, more than 10 episodes ago at this point. So, I'm doing pretty well. Pretty well, all things considered. Please. Nope, just singles. Just a couple of singles. Alright. I have to be on the lookout for additional scarabs. Not necessarily because I need them, but because I want my wallet to be full. And you never know whenever scarabs may suddenly come up and be necessary. Like, the Snowhorn... Whoops. The Snowhorn artifact was the last time that I actually... It's the last thing that I know I need money for, but I don't actually know of anything else, you know? If that is making sense. I don't know of anything else that needs to be purchased in the game, but I'm up to a point in the game where I don't remember any of this stuff, because it's so far in. I remember the starting area, but nothing beyond that, really. So...
Thank you, Fox, and good luck on your quest.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Alright, let's find out what type of useless, ridiculous nonsense they're gonna be shoving down my throat with this next Krazoa Shrine. Because these Krazoa Shrines have been the bane of my existence. They're the weak point of the game. I prefer the backtracking back and forth across the landscape more than anything else. You know, as I was talking about the last time, the reason that they have you retreading so much ground historically is because they had to figure out how to make their games last longer, and having you go through old areas using, you know, just reusing existing assets, you know, having you go through old areas is a really simple way of stretching out the time of a game without actually having to build anything new. The thing is, that feels cheap, it feels underwhelming. It's one story to become very familiar with a town because you have to go back to it so frequently. Oh, look, everybody's favorite creatures. Oh, boy. Okay, so there is a space for me to fall into there. Get away from me. Oh, for God's sake, get away from me. Alright, well... They gave me an explosive barrel here. Clearly I'm supposed to get it across this. So, let's just do this. Hope that I get this right the first time. Whoop. Lovely ice bridge. At least they didn't put any, like, diagonal sections on it. Like, the developers had a little bit of, mercy this time around. Because it's just like, nope, straight angles. You do those straight angles and you'll be fine. Alright, simplicity. There's step 1. There's usually 3 steps. That's what it was with the test of fear, at least. Oh, no. Okay. I see a barrel pad and a transporter over there. I have to get another barrel over here. Oh, man. This is... Okay, so... Does it feel... Am I the only one who feels that this is kind of like being given an escort quest? Where it's like, yeah, okay, go pick the barrel up, and now there are, like, things that are trying to explode the barrel, and you have to get through the area. That's kind of like an escort quest. It's not the same as, like, a full-fledged escort quest, where it's like, yeah, here's an NPC who's just gonna do their... Oh, seriously? Okay, well, at least it destroyed him. It's, Yep, sure enough, I knew it was gonna respawn. At least they were relatively close to each other in their respawn time. Oh, for God's sake, just shoot it. There we go. Of everything that happens in this game in regards to its old-style mechanics, the frequency of the enemy respawn, I think, is probably the least pleasant. Woo! Okay, I could totally botch that. Don't worry, that's a fluke. That's a fluke. I didn't actually ruin things thoroughly. I'm not starting some sort of a bad experience like I did with that first Krazoa Shrine where I just kept falling off of a platform when I shouldn't. I'll make it through this one just fine. Just watch me. You watch me. You watch me right now. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this so amazingly. I'm not gonna fall off. I don't know. I mean, coming back and playing these games, like I've spoken at length at this point about the things that I enjoy about Star Fox Adventures, the things that I enjoy about the old style of game design. And I think what I'm really focused on most out of it all is just the fact that, like, if I could pick and choose what my version of perfect would be, like, how would I do that, you know? Is what I'm saying making any amount of sense? Like, what's perfect to me is not what's going to be perfect to somebody else. In my personal opinion, I think that the most perfect video game to ever have been created was Borderlands 2. I think Borderlands 2 is by far the most perfect video game ever made in regards to its purpose and its design. And even then, it still has some things where I wish it had been done differently. Like, specifically with Borderlands 2, I think that the primary currency, the secondary currency, the way that you get guns, it all works, it all ties together and works so incredibly well. So incredibly well. Can I, ooh, can I nudge this off of it? There we go. Oh, seriously? But Borderlands 2 also has this fundamental problem that, like, there's really no point in ever using any of the vending machines in the game. Like, the only reason you would ever pick up and use a vending machine in Borderlands 2 is because you need to sell stuff. Like, there's almost never going to be a useful gun inside. Alright, well, I guess this pad does nothing. There's absolutely never going to be any type of a, do. There's only ever going to be a scenario where you have to, sell guns to vending machines because the chances of vending machines carrying a worthwhile weapon in Borderlands 2 it's just so slim, and that's more or less the game's primary weakness. It's like, yeah, just never use the you should never use the vending machines to buy a gun. Go out and grind enemies. That is the only way to get good guns in that game. And that's just something that you have to swallow with it. But I think that I'll get back to it in a bit. Test 4, the test of strength. Use your strength against the Sharp Claws. If you succeed, I will become yours to return to the Krazoa Palace. Alright. What do you want me to do? You have to be kidding me. Is this literally just like the Lightfoot challenge again? And I just jammed the button? Oh my god. After the test of fear, this is what you throw at me and you expect it to be a challenge in any capacity. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I shouldn't complain too much, but I'm just saying, it seems like you put all of the challenge, you misbalanced this. It's like, let's make one thing way too difficult and let's make another one way, way, way too easy. They're phoning it in at this point. Okay, so we've got another Krazoa spirit. Now it's just a matter of going back to the Krazoa Palace, which is as easy as can be. The largest challenge is just walking back to the to Thorntail Hollow. It'll be fine.
Thank you, Fox, and good luck on your quest.
My whole point about Borderlands 2, though, is the fact that, you know, there is... What constitutes a perfect game is going to be different for each person. I've been pretty adamant for a long time that I think that Borderlands 2 is like an example of a perfect game because for its flaws that it has, they are extremely few, and the existing pieces that they built the game out of are extremely well thought out. Okay, that's the best way for me to phrase it. Like, whenever I speak about a perfect game, it is less about my own personal feel about the game, and it is more about, did the developers properly test this? Like, did they plan the system out where it's like, yeah, everything is interlinking. We're not really building anything that's kind of superfluous or useless. It all is here for a reason to be used at a time that makes sense, and we're not really, you know, we're not really like reusing an asset for the purpose of, we're not reusing an asset or a mechanic for the purpose of just trying to, you know, put additional material in when we need material, but not enough time to develop a new, you know, functionality or whatever. In my opinion, as long as you are designing all of the pieces, if all of the pieces of your game are custom built to do what they're supposed to do, and they show up for their purpose, and they don't really do anything outside of that, and you didn't make any things that felt like you were just kind of making things work with a bunch of the Legos that spilled out of the bin whenever you opened it up, I think that's the definition of a good game. And there are people who vehemently, hello, sir. He's never gonna talk to me. Remember, he needs to talk. I remember I have to talk to him at some point, but there are people who vehemently disagree with me about Borderlands 2 and say that it's not a good game, or, you know, like it's far from perfect, or things like that. So, you know, I think about that whenever I think about a game like this, where, you know, we're getting down to the end, and it's clear that they have some there were extreme moments here of, like, we've really just got to get this game out the door, which, you know, I've spoken about the story about why that was the case previously. So,
are you ready to go to Krazoa Palace?
Yes, I am, big guy. Let's go. Yeah, just do it open palm. Do it open palm, man. And as I play through this game, I realize that there are certain aspects of it that I would love to see more. I would love to see more of in a lot of games that we have, you know. Most notably, just the world design where it's like, yeah, we've kind of designed a tighter world. We could get away with smaller video games today with more pointed and directed purpose, as opposed to like our large open world, endless meandering experiences that we have. Because, I mean, one of the biggest problems that this game has, as I have been observing it personally while playing it, is just the fact that it does do a lot of this backtracking stuff. And imagine if you designed a game like this with modern storage capacity options, you know? It's like, yeah, there's no need to like force backtracking. You can make additional spaces, and you can help players warp between one location and another because we don't have load time restrictions like this game does, you know, like seek time on a CD. Or I suppose it was I think the GameCube specifically, I think all of the data for GameCube was written to DivX. And I think that's one of the reasons why GameCube games have been so remarkably difficult to pirate. You can't put a DivX format disc into a DVD drive. For those of you who don't know, DivX was the competing format to DVD, and it lost. I don't know for certain that GameCube discs are formatted for DivX. That's just... For some reason, I feel like that's something that I learned, but I don't know for certain that that's what happened. Okay, is he gonna have something to say to me, or...
Fox, my boy! 3 spellstones down and only 1 to go! You seem to be getting the hang of this! Now then, it's time for you and Tricky to go to Dragon Rock, your toughest challenge yet.
That's easy for you to say, but where do I find the gatekeeper?
He is closer than you realize. He who has no voice has plenty to say.
Okay, there you go. That's what I was missing. I had to do the Krazoa Palace before I could talk to the Mumbler-in-Chief over there. Mumble, not now. It'll be fine. So... Okay, none of these rocks have respawned. I'll have to find more later, at a different time. And I suppose that our friend over here, who's, usually not all that talkative, is suddenly going to have a lot to say.
I should have guessed there was something odd about you. The Warpstone said I should find you.
I haven't spoken since something terrible happened. Something that I am ashamed to admit. I too attempted to save our planet, but I failed.
Tell me, what happened?
I led a group of dinosaurs against General Scales. He learnt of our plan before we could act, and launched a full-scale offensive against us. We never stood a chance. He imprisoned 3 of my closest friends on Dragon Rock, and it is also where he has taken the Spellstone.
So how did you survive? If Scales let you go, it could only be because...
I am the gatekeeper.
Wait a minute, if he's the gatekeeper, wouldn't it make sense that Scales wouldn't want him to live and be under lock and key? That seems to be the most strategically smart maneuver, right? Or did he escape specifically because of his gatekeeper
The
powers?
gateway to Dragon Rock is now open. Please help my friends. They are on your side.
Thanks. I kind of knew that they were on my side this whole time. Okay, so, let's grab a little bit of extra magic, before heading out. You know, what was I even saying? I feel like if you could get a game like this, where it's like I was saying a long time ago, the path and field design, you know? Where you have these kind of corridors to go through, but then like these more wide open areas, and everything that you're doing is kind of pointed. I'm really curious how a game designed like this would feel with modern levels of fidelity, you know? You would end up with a much larger game than this. This game is, I think the discs were like about 2 gigs. Whatever.
General Scales has unleashed the full force of the planet's dark energy, mutating Dragon Rock into a desolate wasteland. He's captured a number of dinosaurs and is planning to change them into powerful killing machines. It's rumored that one such creature already exists. This final spellstone will bring Dinosaur Planet back together. Flippy out!
Okay then.
Fly through 10 gold rings to open the Gatekeeper's force field.
10? Wait a minute, we went from 7 to 10? Okay, I can't imagine how this is going to go wrong. This must be the one that I remember failing continuously over and over, because everything else I've gotten it on the first try. Well, I guess I'll find out soon enough, but, you know. Ooh, laser upgrade. How am I supposed to get through these doors, man? Ow! Okay, the doors, whenever they close on me, they absolutely, like, set me off. Ooh, grab that. Hello, my friends. I am here for the adventure. What is up with the little X in the middle of some of these rings? I don't understand. Come on. Almost there. Actually, that's not good. I'm missing 3 rings. There had better be... Ah! I hope that there are 3 more gold rings on this this path, because if there aren't... Oh no,
You failed to get all of the gold rings! The force field remains closed! You'll have to try harder next time!
Okay.
General Scales?
Well, I can fathom a game doing what this game does, right? I can fathom a game doing what this game does, and really just carrying through with it in high fidelity, but also like stripping away some of the things that just haven't really aged all that well and were more or less a product of like technical limitations of the day. Like, I think personally, I believe that technical limitations are one of the better forces on video games, because technical... Oh god! Okay, I hope I don't have to grab all of the rings, because if I do, I think I just screwed myself. I think that technical limitations are some of the better, one of the better forces on a lot of video games, because, like, there are things that... What on earth? Jeez. There are things that you just would never have done, you know? Like, I think one of the better examples of something that has a lot of effect... Yeah, I failed again. One of the things that has had a higher effect on a franchise that I've played is Resident Evil. You know, like the original Resident Evil games. Those were really tense, and one of the ways that they made it tense was by like covering up the long loading screens of the game with like this really dramatic door opening sequence. And it got old by the end of the game, and you know, the fact that it like is no longer a thing that you have to worry about is a good thing. So like, could you imagine having, you know, like a restriction like that on a modern game, and they just kind of kept it? But at the same time, for what the game was, for what those games were when they were new, very meaningful, you know? And it was great for creating tension and building anticipation for what on earth is going to be through the door, because you get this brief reverie. Well, it's like, okay, well, you know, you have to wait for the load screen, and now you get this long door opening animation. So breathe a little bit, but still there's this tension behind it, you know? I think that limitations are an enormous aspect of making games good, you know? Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Can I restart? No, I can save or I can quit, and that is it. Alright, I have to carry through the level to the end. Fail. Okay, so I have to get all of the rings. So, I would like to see, you know, a game that does this whole path and field design super, super well with modern capabilities, you know? And I'm certain that something like that exists on the indie market already, you know? The indie market being so wide and so varied. I mean, there are some games that are... Paper Mario is a good example of a game franchise that has kind of like shied away from the direction that a lot of fans would prefer it to go in. And as a result, like now there are not many of them, but there are games out there that are basically Paper Mario-like, that seek to carry on like the spirit of specifically Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door. Because a lot of people, myself included, are like, yeah, the Thousand Year Door is where Paper Mario peaked, and like they haven't really ever done anything even close to that since. Okay, we gotta get this ring. We gotta get this ring. There's actually a recent game that I would like to get my hands in called Escape from Ever After. Don't know when and or if I'll ever actually get around to playing it. Oh, finally.
You did it, Fox! The force field is down! It's safe for you to land! Let me out!
I don't even care about that freaking score. Okay, this place looks like it's absolutely desolate. You know, I've gotten real used to the R-Wing in Star Fox Adventure. I think it's going to be a little bit weird whenever I finally fire up Star Fox Assault when I'm done with this game. Don't know if that'll turn into a series or not. You know what? I've still got time. Let's do a little bit of exploration. See what we are dealing with here. Right, can I destroy this thing? I get the feeling that shield is indestructible. And I'm also suspicious at this moment that I'm probably supposed to disable those shields at some point. Every single time that there's been a bot with a shield. To get started in this area, Fox, you need to free the Earthwalker. My sensors are showing you need to search in the upper levels of that huge building in which the high top is trapped. Start there and see... okay, so... Start there. So, one of the large buildings, but... Let's just explore. I don't think that I'm going to... What on earth did you just spit out? Ooh! Ah! Yowza! Ooh! Yuck! Okay, dangerous. Just a little bit dangerous, at least. I don't think that I'm going to need my my blaster much, if at all. These creatures over here... Ow! They are fully susceptible to the ice. In fact, it's the only way to defeat them. If I'm not mistaken, after using the ice shot on them... Okay, so that's a cage that I obviously have to get open somehow. After figuring out how to defeat those things with the ice shot, it was after that I was like, oh, so if I do this to the Thorntails, or no, the Sharpclaws, do they fall down just as easily? And sure enough, they do. You know, turning combat into an utter and complete joke. Hello, my sir. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my god, this is so unfair. He's such a good shot. I say it's unfair. It's not really unfair. I'm just being... It's hyperbole. Okay, got another door that's sealed up shut here. I'm not seeing a whole lot to work with. Hello, sir. Chill out. Freeze, please. Freeze, please. I'm sorry. I should never, ever make a sound like that ever again. Okay, well this one wants me dead, and there's nothing for me to activate this with. Hello? See, he doesn't even attack me if I don't attack first. And for some reason, hitting him with a cold blast, he doesn't seem to care one bit. Ow. That's fine. Could you imagine a game like this with, well, I guess to some degree I'm dreaming about this game getting like a remaster from Nintendo and going on their online service. Like I said in the past, I'm gonna have to subscribe to the Nintendo online service and play Star Fox Command. Was it? There was like someone commented. I don't remember your name. I'm sorry, but very few comments come through, which makes it even worse that I don't remember your name. To which, again, I'm sorry. But the statement about like not getting the endings to like Star Fox Command, if I'm remembering the game correctly, it is the one game that managed to slip me by in regards to the DS and Star Fox. It's the one Star Fox game that I haven't played, and how I got the endings mixed up. So to that I say, whoops, and at the same time I also excuse myself from it because, like, no, it's the one game that I haven't played, and I've only ever watched, like, I've only ever, like, read community discussions about it. I've never even read a wiki about the game. Mostly because most wikis about Star Fox out there are kind of trash. Lucky me that I remember that this is here. Man. They have a lot of burning buttholes on this building. I don't care what anybody says, that's what they are. They're burning sphincters. Okay, so I can't get through that. And I haven't seen a sharp claw cannon or anything around here. Okay. Where's Tricky? But these fire jets aren't in my way anyway. That's weird. Oh. Ah. Okay. So this is I'm babysitting another fuel barrel. Ooh, I'm lucky I didn't get caught on fire by that. Alright, let's give this a shot. See whether or not it's possible for me to, like... What do you think? Like, place your bets now. Do you think I'm gonna get this on the first try? I wouldn't bet on getting it on the first try. Put that down. And... So... Am I supposed to, like, shut the thing off? To get it where it's supposed to go? Okay, it looks like that does actually stop it, but probably, yeah. Okay, so I guess what I'm supposed to do is come up here and stand on the buttons, maybe? Doesn't look like I can douse it. So, yeah, okay, so standing on the buttons is what I should have done. I mean, I'm saying one thing and I'm testing another. It makes it look like there's a lot of cognitive dissonance. I'm thinking through all of the possibilities instead of going for what seems, blatantly obvious. Alright, watch. I'm gonna get it on the second try. Second time's the charm. That's the way that it works for me. But you are entirely correct. I am confused about the endings for Star Fox Command. I think I'm getting that right. Because I've never read a wiki about it, I've never played the game either, something that I do want to rectify. Especially with the way that I'm basically going back through the old games. I'm wishful. I'm wishful thinking on a lot of this, you know? It's like, man, it would be really, really cool if I could, get another Star Fox game, because it's been a decade since the last one, and of course we all know how well the last one went. The most recent rumor running around is that, okay, what do they want me to do here? The most recent rumor running around is that, okay, there we go, so we're getting to our friend here. I will actually finish this statement now. The most recent rumor running around about the presence of a new Star Fox game is that the Switch 2 has like a mouse functionality where you turn, you know, one of the controllers over and it can function as a mouse, and that traditionally Star Fox is supposed to be a franchise exclusively for testing like new and novel different gameplay designs, hence the reason why it's been so neglected. And Miyamoto won't hear anything outside of that. It's like, no, the game exists to experiment with stuff, and we don't care otherwise. And all of the, what on earth is that all about? All of the gameplay built up around it. All of the lore built up around Star Fox is not from Nintendo making the games. It is from other companies making games for Nintendo. So in this case, it would be Rare and for Star Fox Adventures, and then Namco for Star Fox Assault. But and I guess Star Fox Command to some degree. I don't know if Nintendo made Star Fox Command or not, because again, one of the games I didn't play.
You have done well to find me, but there are others.
Yeah, I know. Your Thorntail friend told me all about it.
I am pleased to hear of his safety, but the High Top is not so fortunate. Together, we can free him.
Oh, I'm not paid enough for this. Okay, what do we do?
The High Top will be an easy target for the patrolling robots. With their shields, they are unstoppable. However, each one has a shield generator hidden somewhere nearby. If we can destroy these, the robots will be defenseless.
So what do you expect me to use? This?
Of course not. This. Now get on my back. Let's do some damage.
Oh, you are speaking my language now, buddy. Okay, so this is a good enough place for me to close up. Maybe I'll finish my thoughts in the next episode. Until then, though, take care, everyone. We're getting close to the end. We're getting so close to the end.